Please to Bapak Ricky Afrianto.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Pak Rohit, I think all the session seems to be very serious. So, Ijin, a bit more informal and casual. Okay, I think let's start with the slides. The title, it should be The Battle. But then Pak Rohit said, if the battle is not so exciting, so we changed to be The War. So, if I may ask, sorry, the slide is not coming yet. Is anyone knows how many ads that been exposed to human in every day? 600. So some data tells is 3,000. Another one saying is 5,000. Another one saying is 10,000. To make it simple, the most possible one could be only 90 to 100, they say. So, but it is still, though the number very little, but it is very hard for us to remember all those 100 ads. So this is the start of the war in attention-grabbing world. So, because this is MMA, so I bring a lot of important slide, and I take like a very serious one. This is the fascinating facts. If you look at this slide, unfortunately it's not so clear. This is the viewability between TV and unskippable. So if I may point it out, the attentions, the viewability, high rates happen on TV and the highest unskippable YouTube. Now I understand why we need to pay premium cost for Google for unskippable ad. But the other one, if you look at on the other side, the dwell time, meaning how long we actually watch the content, TV is still the most highest compared to even other channels. So this is really the challenge. And now I understand in digital, still very hard in delivering a message because it seems TV is still longer when it comes to the dwell time. And today, because we talk about the AI a lot, so I have an AI dream. I gather Google, I Google Meta, Google Meta, and TikTok all together in a room. I had a meeting with them. So I said, this is the client, hopefully you're okay. I would expect if we can pay you based on the dwell time. Then those three giants said, okay, I agree. But the dwell time, it is not only because of us. It depends on the creative, correct? Then I said, hi, those three legend and giant. You have the AI. You have the machines to optimize the creative anyway. So you take it. Then they say, okay. But those, unfortunately, in my AI dream. So the next question is, this, I think, very hard for you to see. But this is the gap between view and attention. If you look at the MRC data, only 70% comply. So out of the 100, only 70% comply in digital. But out of the 70%, if you look at this, 0 to 10 second is 44%. But no attention is 9%. But the 2-second attention is only 1/7. That's how tough it is. Now we look at the out-of-home example. The billboard, out-of-home, not talking about the attentions. If I may ask, what pictures is this? Or what animal is this? Sorry? Horse? Yeah. Doggy? But if you look at this, is anyone notice it's different animals? It's zebra. So now, I hope this is not applied to city vision. What happened? They are greedy, right? They want to be LED, and one LED, how many clients? 8 clients. So even for the still billboard, we cannot get sometimes what it says. So now, because of greedy, I put 8 loops in the billboard. So, but this is not for City Vision. I saw some City Vision guys. Otherwise, they will get angry when I go down. This is just a joke, okay? Don't take it very seriously. But this is the subject that I'm really obsessed with. I think I can encourage marketer, if you have time, look at the long and the short. What they are saying is, this is what we discussed during board meeting as well yesterday with MMA. So when you build the brand, it takes longer. But the investor, the CEO, our boss does not agree. Because I want to get the immediate impact, especially this year, correct? Which is very quite tough. But if you look at the sales activations, give more impact. So what Mark Ritson said, he said, this is what happened in every years. We do brand building, no impact. We switch to performance marketing. And next second years, you do the same performance marketing. Why? Because it satisfies us. It actually gives us the sales result more than brand building. But in fact, the brands has a problem. Then it will depend on these two things, promo and discount. So this is another challenge. So if you ask what advertising that I remember, most of the time we will remember either promo or discount. So what they say, this is some cases what happened in Adidas. The problem with you guys as a Gen Z, you see something interesting online, you go to the mall, you try the Adidas shoes, but you don't buy there. You buy to the platform that offer the cheapest price. But then Adidas said, because I focus too much on performance marketing, it doesn't build my brands. So it's actually into the price war. So that's another issue if we do not balance between the performance marketing and long-term brand buildings. So this is what they say. Take care of the long because the short will leave you short. And another interesting point, when we look at the short term, is on the left side, is about sales activation, performance marketing, right? It's all about tight targeting, informative, and responsive. But for the brand building, it's broad range, emotional, memorables. So this is what happened. When they say if you want to build a brand long term, its scale is still important. So the effectiveness is still driven by the scale. So on top of those, that's why I think out of home is growing. So online, I'm not talking about traditional TV anymore, but I'm talking about video. Be it traditional, be it digital, you need a video, which actually can drive an emotional response a lot better. Then when we look at this, it is very makes sense. If you look at, before that I think, this is the out of home that happened in India. Amul brands is 50 years back. When at the time AI still at early stage maybe. But they use it, the contextual marketing 50 years ago. So they use the context. Olympic, when Indians lose, they said better luck next time. Or this is the bromance between Obama and Modi probably. But this one built a brand quite sometimes by using an out of home that is quite powerful. So this is what we call as probably a good brand building things rather than just performance marketing. And if you look at this slide, the ad when we talk about performance marketing, normally it is rational. But when we talk about emotional, it's for a longer brand building things. So that this is, I think, a lot makes sense. Do we say that the short term is not important? It is not. Short term is very important. But what we cannot forget is we need to stay with the long-term effect as well. So they said it's 40-60. Spend 40% in the performance marketing, but use 60% for the brand building. So that's what they suggest. Based on my experience then, viral. I use a formula, what I call it as a viral. But the bad things with viral, sometimes it goes up very quickly and go down very quickly. So in this case, I'm not talking about the viral that going fast but down. But I think viral in that sense, a formula how to build a long-term brand building in my personal view. So number one, I think, is a given. You need to have a story. You need to be authentic. No one argue about it. But what is important, I think, from the first fee is we need to have a meaningful story. And second, at the end, you need to impress. Impress is two things, from the story itself and from your budget. Big brand has an advantage over the small brand. You cannot ignore that. That is a fate. Small brand will be even tougher compared to big brand. That is given, I think. So you still need a reach and frequency, especially for FMCG. Cannot ignore the reach and frequency, be it traditional, be it digitals. And R, I think, need to be relevant for sure. Otherwise, the consumer will not share the things to the others. And A, because of the algorithms, every platform could be different. Then we need to understand the way it works. Sometimes the format as well. And the other one, I think, in digital at this moment, at least from FMCG, very hard to get a norm. In traditional, easily. 400 per week GRP, done. If launching 600, could be at 100 per week, is done. But in digital, still very tough. So that's why I think continuous learning is still needed. So I still have 9 minutes, so I will use that 4 minutes to use a case study. I think I just showed a video of lay minerals when we did it during Independence Day. So where we try to implement a good team from lay mineral team from our sites that launched these campaigns, where I think sort of using this kind of formula. Let's watch it. This is 4 minutes. Okay, I need to click.
Sungguh bangga bertanah air Indonesia. Alamnya kaya, untayan gunung vulkanik. Anugerah sumber mata air terbaik dengan mineral alami. Le mineral asli milik Indonesia. Bangga dapat mendukung prestasi anak bangsa. Mengaliri langkah, semangat dan harapan. Bersama berikan yang terbaik bagi Indonesia. Le mineral asli milik Indonesia untuk kebaikan Indonesia. Padamu negeri kami berjanji.
Padamu negeri kami berbakti.
Sumber terbaik Indonesia, kaya akan mineral alam dari anugerah pencipta. Di sini Tuhan percayakan kami terlahir, nafas pertama kami berhembus di tanah air, melangkah bersama anak bangsa sampai ujung dunia, berikan semangat dan harapan untuk prestasi bangsa, bersama beri yang terbaik untuk Nusantara, kebaikan le mineral asli milik Indonesia.
Ku tidak lupakan.
Cinta
So that's what we believe is nothing sells like an emotions. And I think this is where we try to implement the values, the meaningful story. I is to impress, then R is relevance. Of course, this is during Independence Days. And you use algorithm to understand the way it works in any platform and keep learning, basically. That's all. And this is to end my presentation. That is word to say merdeka. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much Pak Riki. Boleh minta waktunya untuk sesi foto sebentar Pak Riki? Oke, baik. Selanjutnya we are moving to the next session. Okay, ladies and gentlemen,